It's being remodeled as we speak.
Notice of this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise for the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Councilman Diamante.
Here.
Councilwoman Hess. Here. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Here.
Councilwoman Simmons. Here. President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Mayor.
Here. Approval of minutes for council meeting for December 8th and December 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call please.
Councilman Diamante.
I'll abstain in council meetings on this.
Councilwoman
Yes,
Hess.
for executive.
Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Entertain a motion for payment of bills please.
Make a motion that the bills have been properly audited and signed, be approved for payment.
And a second please.
Second.
Roll call please.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
The following reports have been filed and are available in their respective offices for review and will be included in the minutes. Tax collector's report, the sewer report, and the treasurer's report. First reading, ordinance 2021-01, an ordinance amending chapter 242, records public access for the Borough of Lindenwold. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that ordinance 2022-01 be adopted on first reading, published according to the law, posted in the Borough Hall, with and read at our next second regularly scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski. Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
Councilwoman, President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2022-02, an ordinance amending chapter 150, fee schedule by title only. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion for ordinance 2022-02 be adopted on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, and read at our next regular scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Present agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be enacted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items. If discussion is desired, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2022:71 through 73.
Make a motion for consent agenda resolution items 2022-71 through 73.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Resolution 2022:74, revision of the employee handbook. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion for resolution 2022-74, revising the employee handbook.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Resolution 2022:75, engineering services for the municipal aid of Cooper Road Avenue reconstruction. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion for resolution 2022-75, engineering services for Cooper Ave.
And a second, please.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Councilman Diamante.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Minkowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Engineers report.
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, good to see you too. First up, we got proposal for the expansion of the municipal parking lot. You guys already bonded for the construction of the parking lot, but there's funds for engineering inspection phase services that provided by Craig Wells, so we're generating a proposal there. Reconstruction of Cooper Avenue, you just provided us authorization, so we'll get moving with that. Project in construction, the traffic signal upgrades. We're still waiting the maintenance bond, and JDOT had a few comments to reinstall the signage there, so still closing that one out. And the repaving of Lindenwold Phase 2. We had our pre-construction meeting January 6th. The borough needs to acquire the right of entry, just like you guys did last time for all those properties there before construction starts. Did a great job last time. So notice to proceed is tentatively scheduled for April 4th. So that's all I got.
Good.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you. All right, over to council. Councilman DiDomenico, have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to just say thank you to council, everybody that works for the borough, for the prayers and all. Back in July, I was diagnosed with stage 2B lung cancer. The end of August, I went in and had part of my lung removed, went 4 rounds of chemo, and as of this past Friday, I was told that I was in remission, so that's why I'm back. But I'll give you a public service. If your doctor tells you to get a CT scan of your chest, go and have it done. I wouldn't be sitting here if my primary doctor didn't order that for me for the past 10 years. So it was called early. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hess.
I have nothing to know, thank you.
Council President.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Well, first of all, today is National Spouse Day. So, happy National Spouse Day to all the spouses out there. And happy National Spouse Day to my husband for putting up with me for almost 25 years. God bless him, he's a saint. So, enjoy your day, your evening. I think it warrants maybe a dinner or something. You didn't know that? Oh, yeah. Just a couple updates. We'll be taking a new photograph and getting the bios of our new council people to update our website. So if you go on there and you notice that hasn't been done, we are in the works. We'll be all looking pretty next week to get our photos and getting that information updated. We're still working on the update for the website, for the tab, for the Welcome Lindenwold tab, and I guess we need to follow up to see exactly where we are after the holidays now on getting that accomplished and finished. I have some numbers here that Wayne Hans, our code enforcement officer and manager, has provided me for the end of the year numbers, and I'm going to read these off to you. This is for the total of 12 months for the year 2021. CO inspections were 1,050. Smoke detectors were 866. Violations found were 3,974. Violations written, 2,378. Abatements, which I understand means that it's resolved, 2,610. 161 tickets written, 38 foreclosures, and those are the registrations of the foreclosed buildings. Yearly R&R inspection. What's the R&R inspection? Rental registration, thank you. 2,041. Yearly rental registration re-inspections, 2,935. And that gives us a total of 16,079 different procedures that went on in the department for the year 2021. So Wayne, thank you and your staff for your efforts and all that you do in the office and all that we're going to do in the office. Thank you.
Do you have anything? Councilwoman, you have to.
Yeah, I have something from the school board. I'd like to throw kudos out to the ID department. They came in on their days off and set up the remote learning for all the children on their day off. Also, at their last meeting, they had a seminar on the Start Strong program. This is a program that gives school data on their prior year's learning, which helps them see where they're at. The focus is centered on the intervention strategies. This is done in collaboration with the NJBOE as coach on individual building goals. Also, the staff is involved. It helps them to center intervention strategies. And this is not the NGSLA test that will be done in the spring. Also, the National Honor Society will be honoring the recipients January 29th. They'll have to go onto the school board calendar because that is going to be done remotely. And the school bond referendum passed 454 to 406.
Hello everyone, I just want to thank the mayor and council and everyone just for the warm welcome I received over the past few weeks. I met with the librarian, I was giving a few reports. On February there'll be a Valentine's Day project, so what's going on right now, there is a sign up for a take-home Valentine's craft projects. Usually they are for the children. We did have a conversation, we're going to also include an adult level craft, so please go by the library, library.lindenwold.net to sign up, or you can also contact me at lindenwold.net. Also, New Jersey Health Connect is going to be at the library, so what that means is you're able to borrow iPad through NJ Connect and see your doctor. You can also take it home, receive health information, COVID updates, crisis hotline. I think the Lindenwold Library will be the only library that will be offering it for now. I think they're going to get a pilot in this area. So I believe within the next couple of weeks they'll be receiving about 5. So just contact Brenda Roach, our librarian, who's been very helpful. As far as public events are concerned, I do have 2 applications to volunteer for the Public Events Committee from last year. I'll be getting in contact with those 2 individuals. But also, if you are interested in volunteering for any events coming up in 2022, as we know, they usually start around Memorial Day, but we do want to get a move ahead on it as quickly as possible, and also maybe try to figure out some virtual events in the case that COVID delays us a little while longer. So please get in contact with me at lindenwold.net for that, or you can come here to the office, or even go online and apply. And that's it.
Thank you.
Mayor, yes. Okay, so Commissioner Rodriguez has issued a code blue advisory. It started on January 24th and it's going to go through January 31st. She stated that the temperature is going to be 10 degrees. Everyone should stay indoor. Check on your elderly relatives, friends, neighbors, and bring your pets inside. It's the time of year, since we're on pets, it's the time of year that we have to register our cats and dogs with the borough again. So you'll either get an application in the mail or you can get it on the website. This has to be done by March 31st. It costs $15 if your animal is neutered, $20 if they're not neutered, and you need to show your rabies certificate. That's good through October 31st of this year. And as always, if you decide to open your home up to an animal and give that animal a Lucky Forever home, just come over to the borough whenever you can to register that animal. Okay, so COVID updates. So the federal government is giving at-home tests that you can go online, and the website is www.covidtest.com. You click to order your free test, you complete the form. They're going to be shipped out late in January. The shipping, they said, is going to take 7 to 10 days. Also, the state of New Jersey is also doing COVID tests for at home. They partner with Volt Medical Services. So you would have to go through Volt with a New Jersey website that they have for just New Jersey, which is www.learn.volthealth.com/NJ. And again, it's going to take a little while to get those tests, but with those tests, the state tests, since they're going through Volt, you're going to receive a packet in with it for UPS to send it back to Volt for them to process. Once they process it, it will take 24 to 48 hours for them to send you your results. Starting on Friday, Walgreens is going to start having the N95 masks that they will give out for free that the government is sending to several different pharmacies. And so it's like Rite Aid, Walgreens, Walmart, Sam's Club. They have a whole list. So it's limited to 3 masks per person. So you'll be able to go do that. It's going to be the N95, and they're saying that helps with the Omicron variant and keeping people safe. They've changed the rules about when you're testing. If you test and you're positive, then you have to isolate for 5 days. And if you test and you have symptoms, you have to isolate for 5 days, start from your symptoms. So now we have a new variant coming out, and this is coming off the Omicron that the scientists are looking at, and they're calling it the BA.2. They're watching it right now, but right now there's 45 countries with this variant, and there's 10,000 cases throughout the world with this. Denmark is reporting half their cases are this new BA.2 subvariant. The subvariant is also in the States. It's in California, it's in Connecticut, so it's going to start moving around. So they're just saying the same thing: wear your mask, be vaccinated, avoid crowds, and if you're sick, to stay at home. And the last thing I have is the air tags. So on the news the last several weeks, I don't know, most of you probably have already seen it, they're these little round air tags. And the first story I saw was a model was at a bar, her coat was on the back of her chair, she's walking home by herself, her cell phone goes off and says, "You're being tracked." And it ended up that somebody put an air tag in her pocket. Another man in Detroit bought a car, and came up saying, "You're being tracked," and he was able to hit on his phone. It gave him the option to make a noise. He found it under the drain cap under his trunk. They had it hidden there, and what he said, the car he bought was a 2018 Dodge Charger, and they're very known to be stolen, he said, for parts and stuff. So he didn't know if maybe someone stole it to him to come back later to steal it for parts. So they're putting these in your purses, anywhere in a car. They showed news stories all over a car. Coats, they're sticking them anywhere. They're being tracked, you don't know. If you find one, all you have to do to disable it is to go on the Apple logo side, twist it counterclockwise, and take the battery out, and at that point you won't be tracked at that point. So it's just something to keep in mind if you have young children or people trying to drive. It's just something to keep in mind that, you want your family to be safe. And that's all I have. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. The Omicron variant, I also heard on the news from the CDC the other day, if you have Omicron, you have the new variant that's coming out, you shouldn't be affected by it.
Well, the variant that's coming out right now is the sub-variant that we're talking about. Also,
Like I said, yeah. All right, let's meet at the real meeting. I promised I'd come up with a list of accomplishments this year. I don't have a big list, but the things that we do have, I want to start off by thanking all of the borough employees, all of them, for opening up, for allowing us to open up the buildings, for allowing us to have in-meeting persons. There are a number of towns right now who are still closed. But I want to thank the borough employees and all of them, even for working from the beginning of this throughout, for all of the work they did during the COVID pandemic. I also want to say that this year we brought back sports. We also did the traffic signal on Egg Harbor Road and Berlin Road, which if you've gone through that way, it may be a little difficult to understand, but traffic moves a lot better through there now. I mean, it's easier to get through, and it's no time at all. I wish I had a day when I worked in the county and would have to wait for the 20 minutes to get through a traffic light. And the last thing I have on the agenda, well, I'd also like to thank our police department for all of the things they did this year, with the fishing with the cops and the going to shopping with the cops and the bicycle patrol came back, also
Training car.
all of the things they did, it was, a year of not being able to do any of it, and I'm so glad it all came back this year, and nobody really, they took everything really seriously how they did it, so that nobody got sick. So I'd like to thank them for that. And the last accomplishment that I think is the biggest accomplishment of all is to council and to all of the work that everybody put into now Arborwood is gone. So it's now Pinewood Estates, and I'm so happy to say that it's done. Thank you. All right, with that being said, I'm going to open the meeting to the public. Any questions or comments? Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, try to keep it to 5 minutes. And remember, we will answer possibly later.
Lenny Gutierrez, 637 Fifth Avenue. Mayor, now that the Arborwood is solved, what is next on your agenda? And also at the meeting last week, my mute button didn't work, so I was not able to talk. I couldn't get off the mute, and I wanted to address the comments to Donald Norcross and Paul Moriarty regarding their interpretation of the January 6th, on how it's a tough time looking back, and people not working together to divide that we need to maintain democracy. But on the events of January 6th, I think they're all misunderstood, and the failure to correct the record is both damaging to the America's future and its justice systems. Words have to have meanings, and continuous mislabeling the Capitol breach as an insurrection is an example of how false narrative can gain currency and cause dangerous injustice. I know many crimes did take place in the Capitol, but none of the rioters were actually charged with the insurrection. And what Donald Norcross was saying about how, everyone is divided and we need democracy. I mean, I believe the divide is caused by certain people, and it's right here in Lindenwold, the divide, because I know how you people feel about me because I'm a Republican, and I've been told many times when I want to do something that I'm a Republican. So my question is, what are you going to do about that divide? And how are you going to bring the Republicans and the Democrats together here in Lindenwold?
Thank you. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
You gotta go?
Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, happy New Year, everybody, and happy to see you all there. Can't understand everything you're saying with the but thank you. My name is Joe, I'm at 25 Georgetown Road, Lindenwold. The voting, do you have the results from the voting for the...
454 to 406, it passed.
It passed? And the voting machine, myself, I didn't like them. I didn't like it either. No.
Contact the Board of Elections, sorry, I'll say that first.
Yeah, it looks like we got it. Like, does anybody know who's paying for the ink and the paper for the machines?
Joe, we'll respond to your comments. When we do this now, is if you talk to us, then we'll close it to the public, then we'll respond. So you want to know who paid for the ink?
Well, the machines, I like the other machine. You just press a button, boom, and there it is on the computer, I guess. And this one here, you got to put paper in, and there's ink. And from talking to them, they said they had trouble getting the paper in the machines. So luckily where I went, the fire hall, it worked. But they said a lot of times they had trouble with that. But, personally, you go from one machine, then you got to walk over to another machine. Do we have any say-so with the state just dictated this to us, the machine? Or do they go to any towns and counties and say, what do you think about getting this machine? Does anybody know? Or did they just, the governor just said, okay, we're using this machine?
We respond when we open back up to council.
I didn't understand what you said.
We will respond when we open back up to council.
When next?
They don't answer your question.
They won't answer your question.
It's the next item on the agenda. It's open to public and then open to council. So they hear us all and then they respond.
I still don't understand. You can't answer the question? Or?
We will answer the question
In a couple minutes.
In a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
Answer it now.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't like but
That doesn't make sense.
so, yeah. Yeah, and I got a couple, there's houses in my development. The mayor actually said, seen one house with shingles were all falling off. It's even worse. And nothing's been done about it. And then there's another house, the windows are all broken and nothing's been done about it. So, you know, if anybody, you know, I know it's Wayne's job, the code, so if they could do something about it, because it's just horrible. You know, I know, you know, our condo association is really responsible for that. You know, but they don't do anything. You know, it's actually in our bylaws to say, hey, you know, you're supposed to look out for us. And they don't. So hopefully, you know, Wayne can check these two houses out. He knows it. So I can give him the address if he wants. All right. Thank you.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Daniel Britton, 507 East Elm. I just want to say there's several more things that I thought went really well this past year. And I just wanted to highlight those and say how much I enjoyed them. That was some of the events. Being able to participate in the trunk or treat was literally a highlight of my entire 2021, so thank you. And the community yard sale was also just another really awesome thing that I really enjoyed, and a time just to connect with neighbors. And the third thing that I think is also huge are the new welcome to Lindenwold signs all over town. They're beautiful, and I think they make such a difference, even just for me. I know there's town signs when I'm driving places, and I had noticed that we didn't have any here. And now that we do, I noticed them, and it's beautiful, and also the ones that are mentioning our local businesses and supporting them. I'm a huge proponent of that, and so just thank you to the Public Works, and thank you for listening to the people that asked for those. And I just think it makes our town more welcoming, and I don't know, brings a smile to my face when I drive by. Thank you.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Good evening. Trevor Shaw, 805 Norcross. I guess I'll start by just welcoming Joe back.
Thank you.
It's a heck of a story, and I'm certainly happy to hear you're in good health these days. I also want to welcome the new members to the council. And then I just wanted to follow up and end with a question involving Channel 192. You guys have done an update, I guess it was in the spring/summer of last year, noticing that a lot of the content is still very summer-oriented. The summer musical that was put on the park, and summer meals that was done at the library. Great content, but it's a lot out of date now. I was wondering if maybe we could do a quarterly or even a biannual update to that channel. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, close the meeting to the public, and entertain a motion to open up the council.
I can address two things. Some of
And a second. All in favor? Okay.
Joe, if you do not like the machines, I would advise you to call the elections division. You can speak to someone there and give them your opinion of, you know, how the process went and what you do or do not like about the machines.
Yeah, we have a council person from Blackwood in there, working for free.
Joe, so unfortunately,
You can't say
anything.
yeah. This is state law. Yeah. So that would be the proper place to voice your opinion about the machine. And as for 192, some of the information is a little stale. We've been in and out of COVID surges at the school, so bear with us as we update our information on there. Obviously, if they shut down for COVID or they've got some issues going on at the school, we are not their first priority there. Getting the children straightened out so they can do their online learning kids. So we'll take care of that. Thank you. Oh, okay. So who pays for the ink? Joe? You said Joe. Joe. You said who pays for the ink and the paper? We do, the taxpayers. So elections are always funded by the taxpayers. Special elections are funded by the taxpayers. So all of those things are built into the election costs, the vote by mail costs, the ballots, all of that. Yeah.
And Mrs. Britton, to answer your questions, I'd like to thank you for helping me to remember things that my senior, I thank the husband who started this innovation with the signs, So that's why the signs got done.
Well, that was Trevor. That was Trevor.
Well, he's the one to talk to about it once
Okay.
I assumed it was.
Thank you, sir.
But thank you. What else did I miss?
Joe's already told me.
He's talking about the convention in public.
I just, to answer Mrs. Lettieri's questions, I have nothing against you. I have nothing against you as a Republican or whatever the case may be, because believe it or not, I believe in a lot of the things you said. And as far as the insurrection and in Washington D.C., no one has been charged with insurrection. So, I kind of agree with some of those things that you've said, but I totally have nothing personal against you, and I don't understand why you have everything against us. So, with that being said, is there anything I missed? Anybody have anything else they want to say?
I would also, with the Arborwood thing, and we certainly as a government body was involved in that, but I also would like to say thank you to Dave Capazzi, our solicitor, who also worked very, very, very hard on, I have to say, let's give him a shout out because it wasn't easy. I don't know if you know all the paperwork that had to be filed with purchasing the units and where they were at and getting the pilot program together and our tax. Almost every office in this building was involved in making that happen. But Dave, thank you so much for your countless hours that you put in to assure, even when we hit a couple bumps in the road, your expertise in negotiating and working us through those things. And I just want to say thank you for the record for everything that you did to make sure that project happened for us. It was a 20-year plus project. When I came on council, we were trying to get that done. And between the economy and just everything, it was, we were very close a couple of times, and then something would happen with real estate, and then it would fall apart. It's just a dream to drive by there and see a new sign up, to talk to people that live there, and they talk about how quiet it is over there now. It's just an amazement, and I know it's going to be a plus for us.
And I also like to thank the people who are now on it.
Right.
Because without them and the work of all of this stuff, we would never have been able to afford the fees for this.
Right.
It didn't cost the Borough of Lindenwold anything. If anything, we made money. And we will be making money.
Will be in the future.
Yes. So, Dave, thank you very much. And with that being said, entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
And second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone. Good evening.